Hey everybody, this is Dawn Burke and this is HR on the Run. As you can see, I'm at my local Starbucks, and so of course I had to talk a little bit about the Starbucks Diversity Training Initiative. Now, this is my local Starbucks. I'm in Birmingham, Alabama, and this is a suburban location, and I'm here probably 3 or 4 times a week. Now that I work from home, I got to get out of the house. It drives me crazy, so I come here. And they know me by name, and so I get to talk with some of them. So I asked several on different occasions how the training went, because in my profession, these are things that, well, I'm a nerd, I want to learn about. All of them, usually when I would ask them, would pause for a minute, and they'd go, it was really good. I, of course, would follow up with, what was 4 hours enough? And most of them said, it really wasn't enough, but we have to start somewhere. So I really like that. I like the idea that we have to start somewhere. There's going to be a lot of pundits out there that are saying, oh, this was ridiculous, it was a PR stunt, or they had to do it. Well, frankly, they did have to do it for some obvious reasons. But I am going to believe, because my experiences at Starbucks have always been great, that they probably needed to do it for financial reasons, but more importantly, it was the right thing to do, and I think they strive to do the right thing. Anyway, what I want to talk about, though, is less about diversity. I'm not a diversity expert, but I want to talk a little bit about how do you de-escalate conversations when a person is angry, and let me tell you why. One of the comments, a black younger male who works here, told me. He said, in this location, we have never had a customer issue. And let me tell you the demographic at this location. This is for the employees and the customers. Black, white, older, younger, some who are homosexual, and of course there's some that are straight. Some are Jewish, some are Christian. And the reason I know this is because I'm here every day. And at some point you strike up conversations. This is information that they were comfortable sharing. Also the customers, very diverse. Of course, a lot of people with laptops working like me. But the African-American barista said to me, we've never had an issue like Philadelphia in this store. What we have seen more times than I'd like to admit, at other locations in Birmingham, customers who rather have been either fairly aggressive, inappropriate, and in this case, racially insensitive. For example, when this man, again, he's black, asked a white customer, hey, what is your name so I can put it on the cup? The customer responded, why don't you put on there that I'm a Donald Trump voter? All right, I'm not here to talk politics, but I think it could be inferred that this was not meant to be a complimentary comment. All right, laying it out there. It certainly wasn't perceived as one. Now, nothing happened in the store. The barista just moved on. But what do you do if you're in the workplace and something like that happens? Or what do you do if it's not a racially insensitive situation, but just an employee who's angry? So I want to give a couple of tips very quickly on how you can de-escalate anger as an HR professional or as a leader or even just as a peer. If you're talking with somebody and they start to get angry to a point of being inappropriate, I think the first thing you have to do is you need to calmly stop the conversation. Don't interrupt, be very deliberate. Hey, I think we're starting to take a turn that's probably not serving the real purpose of this conversation. Why don't we stop for a minute and let's talk about what's happening? All right, number one. Number two, I think you need to stay calm, but not creepily calm. Not like I'm trying to stay calm because I'm so angry. More like keep your cool. Sometimes it's hard for me to do that, just being honest. But keep your cool in a way so you can hear and you can connect. Use body language and sincerely try to connect with what's happening as opposed to just, tensing up, freezing up. The third thing I would say to de-escalate any type of confrontation is don't patronize the other person. Don't say something like, well, clearly you're very angry and ... or I hear what you're saying, but dot, dot, dot. Because when you say but, that means you don't agree, and then it just feels worse. Or definitely don't say to the person, hey, you know what, you just need to calm down. I mean, I'm sorry, but when an adult is told to calm down, they just go rank through the roof. They go crazy. And then, of course, don't debate. At that point, you are trying to de-escalate anger, not solve the problem. Right? So don't start to, hey, you're wrong. Even if you say that with a smile on your face, it's not going to work. You're wrong. Let me tell you why. Point, counterpoint, point, counterpoint. Oh, man, you're going to get nowhere. Once the conversation, though, has de-escalated as far as the anger, then I think you privately take the employee aside and then really talk to them in a point of trying to understand and uncover layers of what's happening. Now, I'm going to end with this, though. I do think if somebody says something that is racially insensitive or insensitive in any case, as far as male, female, et cetera, I think you do have to stop the conversation and say very calmly, I'm going to stop the conversation right now, and I do need to tell you what you've said in the workplace is extremely inappropriate. But let's go ahead and let's talk a little bit more about what's happened. Then you talk privately. I think there are some things that you just can't tolerate, no matter how difficult it is. You'll know if it's something that you should say right away or if it's something you should wait till you've de-escalated. But please know, I think there's a heightened sense of protecting the employee's sense of integrity, whoever has been insulted in that way. So there we go. This HR on the Run certainly was a little bit longer than usual, but I thought this was an interesting topic. So we'll see you next time. I'm going to enjoy my flat white.